Hello everyone, welcome to Red Snapper. My name's MJ and it's that extremely exciting day of the month. It's patch day and I'm incredibly excited because I'm a massive Spider-Man fan and we've got an upcoming Spider-Man season. Massive shout out and thank you to Snap.fan for doing all of the data mining. That's where I've got these images from. And without further ado, let's talk about the upcoming season pass card. I think this is November. I think this is November the 4th this season starts. Remember. No. Spider-Punk is a 3/2. You can move this once. When this moves to a location, steal 2 power from the highest power enemy there. This is very interesting. I've given him 3.5 stars, but actually I'm wondering if I should knock that up to a 4, because when I read this out loud, it's literally me discovering this right now that I just realised he will do that every time he moves. Yes, you can move him once independently, but every time he does move, he will steal 2 power. That's very interesting. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Rocket and Groot. However, because he's just stealing the power automatically, you're not relying on your opponent playing there. You can obviously move it to a location where you know they've got cards. And the fact that you can move it again with Ghost Spider, whatever it may be, like Iron Fist or whatever, Madam Web. Maybe I undercooked a little bit on 3.5. This is actually very cool. Even like the thing is, even if you just move him once and just use his ability, is a 3/6. So he's definitely premium. Wow, he could be a very cool card. He might be good in Surfer as well. Okay. Maybe he's better than I thought. Okay, moving on. And so, like I said, he appears to be the season pass card. Next up, we're not sure who the premium season pass card is. If I was a gambling man, I would have said Superior Spider-Man, who we'll look at in a minute. But first of all, on screen here, I've got Man Spider. I think he's probably the Series 5 released that week. So he's a 5/1. On reveal, merge the last card you played into this. When this merges, double its power. So, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I believe the way that this should work, based on how it's worded, is it's going to merge whatever the last card you played is into it. So that card will basically no longer exist. And then this card will obviously double in power. So, for example, if you played a Typhoid Mary, you'd gain the 10 power, so you'd go to 11. You'd double it, so you'd go to 22. And then you would basically have got rid of the ongoing ability because Typhoid Mary is gone. That's so interesting. Is there going to be a Wasp meta? Because you can do that, right? Typhoid Mary or whatever high power 4 cost. And then you play Wasp and Arnim Zola. And I guess there's only one Wasp, right? So will one of them double? I mean, they'll both just double anyway, won't they? To like 44. Oh, this is crazy. And the artwork is sick. This card seems mad. I'm not sure if this ought to get changed. It just seems... I don't know. It just seems crazy, doesn't it? But you are kind of like getting rid of your turn 4 play. I don't know. Anyway, it's very, very cool. Right, next up. I think this one might be the Super Premium Pass card. I'm not certain. I'm just speculating, right? But it's Superior Spider-Man. If you're not familiar with who this is, it was a storyline where Dr. Octopus put his brain inside Peter Parker. So it was basically Spider-Man, but being controlled and not even controlled, just it was basically Dr. Octopus or Otto Octavius. Anyway, he's a 3/4. End of turn. If you have a card with increased power in play, you get +1 energy next turn. This is just bananas. This is ramp, but like no downside. It's like Electro, but no downside. Like, yeah, sure, okay, you need to build your deck a little bit around having cards which buff, but that could be as simple as just including an Angela. If you just play this on top of Angela, you've done it. Is there any, like, Hawkeye? Oh my god, are we actually going to see the classic Avengers, like Wasp and Hawkeye, become useful? I don't know. Could be an interesting one. Anyway, this just seems unbelievably good. And presumably this will just happen at the end of every turn. Nuts. Just, such good ramping. Anyway, I don't know. This seems really good. That's how you sell super premium passes. Anyway, that's just me speculating. I don't actually know if that is the super premium pass. Right, next up, this is a Series 4 release. I think this is also on the... I think this is currently dated, or at least the data mines say that this is coming out at the start of the season as well, so 4th of November. Obviously, things could change, guys. I should have said it earlier. There is a bug on my light. That's good. It's actually appropriate. Spider-Man, Spider-Man, oh yeah. Yeah, so things could change, obviously, but it looks like this might be a Series 4 release at the start of the season. And it's Web Sling. It's a 1-cost skill, which is interesting, a collectible skill from the seams of it. And it's on reveal. Next turn, you can move one of your cards away from here. This is really interesting. I mean, it's a great way to just web sling away any of your Spider-Man characters, which you would definitely want to do with a card like Spider-Punk. For Spider-Punk, that represents 4 power, right? Because you're moving and stealing 2 power, so the power is a 4 power swing, obviously. So for characters like Spider-Punk, that's like 1/4. But think about Human Torch, anything like that, and it really starts to get very interesting. Also, the fantastic thing about this is it doesn't take up a space. You are not using that precious space that Move so desperately likes. So I've given it 4 stars, but I mean, sort of the sky's the limit. That bug is distracting me. Very good. Yeah, the sky is the absolute limit with this, and that's ironic because it's not ironic because that's what you do is web slinging it. Anyway, right, next up, this is, I believe, the next week's Series 5 release, and it's Ezekiel Sims. He's a 2/2. Sorry, you might see me keep like adjusting my t-shirt. I'm sorry, it's like annoying. Anyway, 2/2. Ezekiel Sims. After you play a card with higher power here, give this +2 power and move this to another location. Now, you might have seen that I did a sort of like predictions video for what I think these cards may have been. And I was totally off on Ezekiel Sims, but I should have thought, because this is, I believe, this is the guy who kept Silk locked away, Cindy Moon locked away for forever, basically. So it's kind of not too surprising, actually, that he has a very similar power to Silk. And it's just awesome. After you play a card with higher power here, give this +2 power and move this to another location. So by the end of the game, he can become like a 10 power card if you play your cards right. And then also the fact that you are, wherever you play that big thing on the final turn, could be a 10 or 12 power card, you're forcing Ezekiel Sims into another location, and so you're really nicely splitting that power. I absolutely love this. I've given it 4 stars, but I could see myself going higher again. So yeah, very excited for that one. Next up, again, this is the following week's Series 5 release from the look of it. This is Spider-Man Noir. I think this is maybe one of the most interesting card texts we've ever had. The deck building here is going to have to be very interesting. He's a 4/4. On reveal, if your other cards in play cost exactly 8 total, add the top card of your deck here, set its power to 8. So first of all, the 8 stuff, obviously that's like a spider reference, right? Spiders have 8 legs. Spoilers. And yeah, so the other interesting thing here is, if you think about turn 4, the preceding turns is 3, 2, and 1. So that's 6. So that means you're probably not playing this on turn 4. You're probably playing it on turn 5, unless you've somehow ramped 2 energy in the previous turns, which... I just don't know how you would do that. Like, something like... I don't know, I guess you can play it on turn 4 alongside something if you have already ramped, like Superior Spider-Man, and then could you have got Jennifer Kale? So can you Jennifer Kale on 2, Hawkeye on 1, Jennifer Kale on 2, Superior Spider-Man on 3, and then on turn 4 you do have 2 extra energy if you activate Jennifer Kale. So you just play a 2-cost card and then Spider-Man Noir. Like, to do that kind of thing, there's a lot of setup. I mean, that's a many card combo. So it is more likely that you'll just be doing this later in the game on turn 5. It means that you're sort of losing tempo earlier, or not playing to your maximum energy earlier on, to get this absolutely gigantic benefit of getting a card in play. Not only that, but also setting its power to 8. And if that's an Iron Man or anything like that, then really, really good. But in the kind of deck where you need to be able to manipulate the cards, the cost of your cards to this degree, having played total cost 8, that's so hard. Potentially so hard. And so you need to have a mix of smaller stuff, probably. And so the cards in your deck probably need to be smaller, so you may less want to bring out a cheaper costed card. Or do you just play 4 cost cards in your deck, and then you play on turn 4, you play a 4 cost, on turn 5 you play a 4 cost, and then on turn 6 you play Spider-Man Noir, and you're pulling a guaranteed 4 cost. Have we entered the 4 cost meta? I don't know. It's interesting. I've given him 3.5. Like I say, I think he's fascinating. I try to get these videos out as soon as possible, so I've barely thought about him. But I'm really looking forward to cooking with this one. Next up, this is, I believe this one was listed as being a limited time game mode card, and also we don't have the artwork for him. He's Chameleon. It's a 3/3. On reveal, copy the text of another card you revealed here this turn. So this is somewhat interesting. Kind of like a Mystique, but also location restricted and will copy just anything, and also has to be that turn. So, for example, if you're playing on turn 6, you're only able to copy up to a 3 cost card unless you do something, unless you put him behind Invisible Woman, and then I guess you could copy a 5 cost card. You play Invisible Woman, turn 5 you play a 5 cost card there, turn 6 you play Chameleon, and then something else somewhere else. So that allows you to copy 5 cost cards. And now what 5 cost cards would you want to copy? Something like White Tiger? Don't know what else. So yeah, I'm not totally sure on this, but that being said, you can copy other cards. Like, do you dedicate your turn 5 to revealing this along with a 2 cost card? The other slight difficulty with him is that you do have to play him alongside something else, which means unless you're doing like a 1 cost card, which you might want to do. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I'm adjusting my t-shirt. I do apologise. It's probably distracting. But me talking about it is probably more distracting. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure about this guy. I would like to see him with more power. I have given him 3.5 because I do think he's interesting. And I mean, something like a Nova. Would I like double Nova? Like Frankie Ray Nova, I mean. So you play this and Frankie Ray Nova and they become 12 combined. Yeah, it's not that exciting, is it? I'm not sure about this one, but we'll see. But alongside him in this supposed limited time game mode, which by the way, looking at the leaks, it looks like this might be some sort of team up game mode, because there's loads of like team affiliated cards, and they're team affiliated versions of cards, so they're slightly different and stuff. So for example, there's like a Sentry Thunderbolt version which adds a void to a random location where you don't have a Thunderbolt, stuff like that. It looks interesting, so I'm guessing that's the game mode this season. Anyway, alongside Chameleon is Hydro Man. He's a 5/8, so the same stat line as Sandman, but he's got on reveal, set the cost of each deck's top card to 1. So he's almost like the opposite of Sandman, which I absolutely love. Sandman makes stuff more expensive because sand is annoying and it gets in your shoes. But Hydraman's slippy, sloppy, whippy woppy, and water goes anywhere. It's easy with water in it. If you go down a slide, hard on sandpaper, easy with water, right? So yeah, this is cool, and this is like the ultimate risk card. So you obviously, if you play this in a ramp deck, you could even play in a deck where you only got like 5 cost cards. Well, don't only play 5 cost cards, but play a lot of 5 cost cards, and then you're playing like 2 5 cost cards on the final turn. That's cool. Yeah, it's just cool. It's a really cool one. High risk, high reward. I really like it. I've given it 4 stars. So next up, again, this also appears to be in the limited time game mode, so we're getting several Series 4 cards in this. This is Deafening Chord. It's a 1 cost skill, which I thought was going to be associated with Spider-Punk, obviously, but it wasn't. It seems it isn't, anyway. Anyway, it's a 1 cost skill. On reveal, afflict an enemy character here that costs 3 or less with -1 power and remove its text. So it's like a micro Red Guardian that targets lower costed cards, and that is a skill so it then gets banished. I think this seems super strong. Like, Oh, it's going to be annoying as well. Like, I mean, all the cards that I've mentioned so far this episode, stuff like Angela and Nova. Yes, Frankie Ray Nova. Yeah, I'm probably not suggesting the best things here, but still, 3 cost or less. That is still a significant. You know, 3 cost can be powerful. So, yeah, and the fact that this is removing the text and afflicting and not taking up a space, I think this is really good. And also I just think 1 cost skills in general are going to be so strong, especially with stuff like Hope and Angela. I know I've spoken a lot about those Silky Smooth style cards. In fact, around these parts we don't call it Silky Smooth, we call Silky Smooth decks. Inter Club, we call it Inter Club, because Inter Club you mingle, Ryan's Pringle, and Pringle comes in a stack, and that's what you do with cards in this style of deck, isn't it? You play cards in a stack at one location. Anyway, next up we have, I think, what might be the best card of the season, possibly. I don't know, there's some absolute bangers this season, especially Superior Spider-Man. But anyway, this is the Prowler. This is variant artwork. We don't have the base artwork for this yet, but this variant artwork is absolutely sick. Anyway, he's a 3/4. On reveal, add 2 Thief's Tools to your hand. Set their cost to 0 if a card moved last turn. Oh, the flavour here is amazing, because spoilers for Across the Spider-Verse if you've not seen it, and I'm serious. If you haven't seen Across the Spider-Verse, do actually just turn off the video, like the video, pause the video, read the abilities here, and just thank you for watching. See you later. Go and watch Across the Spider-Verse. Okay? But if you're still here, at the end of the Across the Spider-Verse, the Prowler is revealed. Sorry, not revealed. There is an alternate universe Prowler that is Miles Morales. So the flavour here of making set their cost to 0 if a card moved last turn, that is Miles' ability in Snap. That is so cool. Anyway, I haven't even talked about the Thieves' Tools, or Thief's Tools. So they are, there's 3 of them, so you'll get 2. You've got Flight Harness, which is a 1 cost skill. On reveal, give your highest power card here +1 power and move it to the right. We've got Remote Mines, also a 1 cost skill. On reveal, afflict the 2 highest power enemy cards here with -2 power. Whew. And finally, we've got also a 1 cost skill, Vibro Shock Gauntlets. On reveal, give your highest power card here +2 power. You get +1 energy next turn. So, almost some similar stuff to Merlin here. This is just crazy. If you can actually play this in a move deck as well, or some sort of move tool interesting deck, which I really am intrigued by the type of move decks that this season is going to permit, because it's not going to be traditional move stuff. It's more move control-y, application techy, really cool stuff style of move deck, especially like Hydra Stomper. I think might be a great beneficiary from this season. But yeah, this allows you to do loads. I mean, the stuff like give your highest power card here +1 power and move it to the right, that will be really cool with cards that benefit from moving. I mean afflict 2 highest power enemy cards with here with -2 power. That is a 1/4 equivalent power. And then the one where you're giving +2 power and gaining energy next turn, that's ramp and growth, and you're not taking up a spot. Oh, and the fact that they could cost 0, this is absolute filth. And I think this is the last card of the season. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, guys. What do you think of these cards? I think this season looks freaking amazing to me. Oh, love it. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Cheers.